Bring them back, or I'm going to find out what that bell on your head sounds like.
Hello Superhero Squad, and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are doing a deep dive into the wild and wonderfully weird world of Hawkgirl. She is one of DC's most underrated, yet completely unforgettable badasses. She is so much more than a background character in the Justice League lineup. Oh, no. She is a warrior steeped in layers of myth, magic, and epic heartbreak. She has played many roles in her past lives. Ancient Egyptian priestess? Yep. Space cop from an alien bird people planet? Yep. And sometimes, she's both. Yeah, DC doesn't do anything halfway with this one. Hawkgirls saga spans galaxies and generations, and with recent confirmations over her appearance in James Gunn's upcoming Superman reboot, there's no better time to finally unpack her story. Let's go! What are the two major origin versions of Hawkgirl? You'd think a character would have, what? One origin story? Nope. Two? Yep, that's Hawkgirl for you. She's got two completely different yet equally awesome backstories, and both are packed with everything from ancient curses to alien tech. Let's start with the first one, the Golden Age version. Back in Flash Comics #1 in the 1940s, we meet Shiera Sanders Hall. In this story, she is the reincarnation of an ancient Egyptian priestess named Shiera. She and her lover, Prince Khufu, who's basically the original Hawkman, get murdered by a jealous priest wielding this mysterious alien metal called nth metal. But here's the twist. Instead of just dying, they get cursed to be reborn over and over again throughout time. No matter the era, they're destined to find each other, fight evil together, and most of the time, die tragically. Her second origin story completely flips the vibe. This one is about Shiera Hall, an alien cop from the Silver Age introduced by her debut book and dedicated to the planet Thanagar. Unlike Shiera willingly binds herself with the tropes of magic and reincarnation. She, along with her mate/husband, Qatar Hall, undergoes diligent training to perform her duties as a space cop. The two visited planet Earth on a mission before eventually staying on as curators of several museums while continuing with their crime-fighting duties. This version brings a strong science fiction edge vis-a-vis alien technology, military strategy, and galactic law enforcement. In time, both of these narratives were fused by DC Comics, creating a composite Hawkgirl that embodies characteristics from both timelines. She becomes a Thanagarian warrior with memories of past lives in ancient Egypt, thus becoming a character straddling the line between duty and destiny. And the best part? We're finally going to see her in live action soon. James Gunn's new Superman movie is bringing in Shiera Hall. They haven't revealed too much about how they'll tell her story yet, but honestly, whether they go full alien warrior or ancient legend, either way, it's gonna be sick. How does reincarnation affect the character through the timelines? Reincarnation isn't just a prop in the backstory of Hawkgirl, it's a major driving force in her very soul. This trope plays an important role, especially when she is Shiera Sanders. What with how reincarnation sets up a constant repetition of lives again and again. Alongside Hawkman, she shares in an ancient cycle created by a curse binding them together with the power of nth metal. Such constant repetition not only mythicizes her, but also carries its emotional and psychological weight. Across all these lifetimes, Hawkgirl collects wisps of memories from previous incarnations. Those pieces always come in flashes or dreams that sometimes mess around with her current life. Imagine establishing a new life, but still finding yourself haunted by the shadows of battles, betrayals, and lovers from centuries past. That mixture of past and present creates a powerful identity conflict. Is she the sum of her lifetimes, or is it up to her to choose who she is now? There is also this inner tussle, especially in her relationship with Hawkman. Although their love is already destined, Hawkgirl dwells much on whether fate should dictate her choice. These doubts infuse a refreshing texture into the relationship. She's not some destiny-mimicking dreamer. She wants to take control of her own definitions outside of the expectations of the reincarnation cycles. Aside from love, reincarnation brings an entirely different meaning to justice and duty in Hawkgirl. Evil has always taken different forms throughout history and continues refuse to change. That gives her wisdom, but does not shield her from a certain degree of weariness. Although the past is always doomed to repeat itself, her story is more than a cycle of violence and peace. Despite it all, she remains committed to the fight. Through her reincarnations, Hawkgirl becomes more than just the hero of the moment. She is an archetype for endurance stretching across time, the warrior shaped by the past, but always striving to create an independent future in the present. It's that tension between memory and choice that separates her from the pack. Is Hawkgirl always connected to Hawkman in different versions? The bond between Hawkgirl and Hawkman usually runs through almost every DC multiverse, the depth and nature of this link depending primarily on which version of the characters is being examined. In their Golden Age origins, Shiera Sanders and Carter Hall are literally soulmates, reincarnated Egyptian royalty who, out of some fate, magic, and a shared curse, have a connection till the very end of time. Their connection is one that embodies all the probabilities of myth. It is a love story that is bound to relive tragedies through lifetimes, always finding each other and together experiencing tragedy once again. But in the Silver Age and beyond, with the story of the Thanagarian version of Hawkgirl, Shiera Hall, that connection shifts from destiny to duty. As officers from the planet Thanagar, Shiera and Qatar Hall are elite law enforcers whose bond is forged more in trust, partnership, and mutual respect. They fight side by side, not by duty, but by their choice. In more recent versions, these two histories become sources of conflict. Hawkgirl sometimes resists the ties of reincarnation, wondering if her feelings are really her own or just echoes from lives spent long ago. The implications become far more emotional, especially in stories like Justice League Unlimited, where she had to battle both inner demons and outside expectations. By their own definitions, Hawkgirl has always had a way of proving that she doesn't need the Hawkman to be defined as a hero. She has led battles, she has commanded teams, and she has carved her legacy. No matter if she embraces or rejects Hawkman's existence, anybody can tell she's definitely not a sidekick. Her story does not circle the ups and downs of love. It's about choice, autonomy, and the challenges of carving her own way through the world. Where does Hawkgirl's ability to fly come from? Hawkgirl's ability to fly is no accidental gift. It is the newest advanced appliance of one of the most potent elements of the DC universe, the nth metal. This ancient alien substance is the basis behind every ounce of her levitating capability. And whether Hawkgirl's wings are mechanical in nature or purely organic, it is the nth metal that empowers their flight. The gifts of this mysterious metal do not stop at flight. Nth metal enhances her strength, healing, and durability. Her nth metal weapon also possesses a sort of consciousness of its own, reacting to the state of her emotions and making her stronger and more resistant in combat. It's like a mythical power-up that adapts to her will. In many tales, nth metal almost seems to have a psychic bond with her soul, particularly in the reincarnated versions, aligning memories with her combat instincts. In Thanagarian versions, her wings are made of high-tech military equipment. In mystical versions, they are a part of her very being. But in both versions, the nth metal is the ultimate common denominator. It provides her with that ability to move like a living fighter jet, diving, dodging, and raining death from above with great ease. Her flight becomes not only her means of transportation, but her political statement regarding power. Are her wings organic or mechanical? Whether or not Hawkgirl's wings are actually mechanical or organic depends entirely on which version of her you're looking at. In the Thanagarian storyline, particularly with Shiera Hall, they're high-tech and typically considered mechanical. These are advanced wings laced with nth metal and designed for an elite military purpose by Thanagarian engineers. These wings are worn like a jetpack, but are fine-tuned to allow her the full combat proficiency of an aerial warrior. Shiera trains with them, fights with them, and masters them like an extension of her battle instincts. Contrarily, Shiera Sanders in her incarnation versions usually features organic wings that spring from her back. These wings bond with nth metal, which confers upon them the mystical origin attached to her rebirth and legacy. Responsive to emotion, instinct, and magical resilience, these biological wings are reinforced by nth metal to achieve superior strength and control. Regardless of the design, her wings never fly for their own sake. They speak for her. Tech or feathers, they stand for Hawkgirl's twofold legacy: soldier and soul, science and spirit. And whether she is hurtling into a battle or soaring into the smiling face of obscurity, she wields those wings with no apologies. How strong and durable is Hawkgirl physically? Hawkgirl is a true force of nature on the battlefield, thanks to the blend of strength and durability and warrior instinct honed over countless lifetimes. While she may not top the list alongside Superman and Wonder Woman, she is certainly not far behind. Her nth metal enhanced strength allows her to break down walls, battle powerful metahumans, and smash foes into oblivion with ease. Her durability is her strongest suit. Not many can withstand a barrage of magical blasts, lasers, and sheer brute force. On top of that, the nth metal slows down her injuries so that she can basically recover from wounds well ahead of others and get back to fighting where anyone else would have been taken out. She's that type of hero, flies through the explosion and rises up from the rubble without missing a beat. The stamina and spirit she possesses make her a warrior who will never surrender. Her centuries of war experience give her not just physical, but also mental resilience. She simply charges into danger head on and walks away with nary a scratch. Simply put, Hawkgirl is built to withstand and win. What weapons does Hawkgirl usually use? The weapon of choice for Hawkgirl is the iconic nth metal Mace. It is a heavy-duty, brutal tool for destruction, which is as much a mystical weapon as it is a deadly one. Forged from the nth metal, it doesn't just hit hard, it disrupts magic, breaks force fields, and topples enemies that most would not even dream of engaging in combat. It is not just a weapon, it is an extension of her will and rage. But that's hardly the complete picture. Depending on the threat, Hawkgirl will use swords, axes, spears, and sometimes even advanced Thanagarian energy weapons. She is trained in both ancient and futuristic forms of warfare, so she is deadly with whatever she grabs. Her aerial combat style adds even more momentum to her strikes. She swoops down with an attack, weapon flashing, and lands with a ground-shaking punch. And she never just swings for effect. With her, it is always a fight for survival. So, when Hawkgirl enters armed combat, she is ready for anything. With mace or blade, she is a raging thunderstorm of deadly precision. What type of fighter is Hawkgirl? Hawkgirl is a storm in motion. Aggressive and relentless in action, devastatingly effective in battle. Her combat style incorporates unmatched ferocity with superior technical skills, making her a true powerhouse. Flying in from the skies or holding the front lines from the ground, her mere presence in a fight is enough to make the place explode. She doesn't just enter a battle, she takes it by storm. The perfect blend of instinct and experience makes her deadly. Her past lives have gifted her with the fighting techniques of the best warriors across time. Thus, she acts confidently, as one who has fought in 1,000 wars. From ancient blades to anything in an alien arsenal, she adapts so quickly that she's dangerous in any arena. Along with the deadly technical precision, it is her rage that fuels her. She pours pain and anger into focused and ferocious strikes. She is brawn and battlefield intelligence rolled into a single warrior. Does Hawkgirl have superhuman abilities other than flight and strength? Hawkgirl's powers extend quite a long way beyond just flying and brute strength. The supernatural perks arise from her tryst with Reincarnation and the mystical properties of the nth metal. Accelerated healing is one of her most crucial abilities. With her nth metal, she gains supernaturally accelerated healing powers, which allow her to heal from any injury, broken bones or wounds inflicted upon her by magic, far quicker than most heroes. Another one of her perks is the ability to resist magic. The same nth metal that gives her flight prowess serves as a natural defense against magical attacks, thus giving her supernatural advantages in a world full of spells, sorcerers, and all kinds of magical chaos. Hawkgirl has one more supernatural gift, a sixth sense, a sort of battle-honed consciousness connected to her countless lives in the past. It warns her of magical alterations or threats that slip by others, and with nth metal shielding her mind, even expert telepaths have a tough time breaking through her mental defenses. With an arsenal like this, Hawkgirl is more than just a flying tank. Rather, she becomes a supernatural warrior, one who fights with brains, instinct, and a whole lot of metaphysical grit. The role of personality in Hawkgirl's characterization as a hero. Hawkgirl is fiery, intense, brutally honest, and incredibly proud of her ability to be herself at all times. hardships. She takes pride in being independent enough to head into battle unaided. What makes her more than just an interesting character is the idea that her loyalty runs deep. Trust must be earned, and a betrayal hits her harder than any punch. Her immense emotional weight is shaped by centuries of lives gone by, and so she can often be found guarded and distant at times, while also being highly passionate about justice and personal responsibility. Having been through enough pain to know what is worth fighting for, she never backs down. The thing that defines her is not perfection, but resilience. She rises, not because she has wings spread, but because she is ready to face failure, heartbreak, and war. What is Hawkgirl's classic defining look? Hawkgirl is a visual thunderclap, instantly recognizable and heavy with symbolism. Her towering wings, whether mechanical or organic, emanate majesty from a distance and menace up close. They make her presence impossible to ignore. This effect is emphasized by the hawk-shaped helmet, which is an eye-catching combination of Thanagarian military chic and ancient mysticism, a sharp, striking crown for a battle-hardened queen. She always wears practical yet imposing armor, be it the gold and green of the animated Justice League or the modern-day gritty metallic rendering found in the comics. Her armor is made for speed, power, and survival with glowing touches of nth metal hinting at a superhuman edge. And then there's the mace, huge, spiky, and deadly. More than just a weapon, it completes her silhouette like the final brushstroke of a masterpiece. Her entire appearance conveys a tale of two heritages, part spacefaring enforcer, part reincarnated myth. In her illustrious armor, Hawkgirl is always prepared for war. What are Hawkgirl's contributions to the Justice League? Hawkgirl is not a background character in the Justice League. She is present at the forefront. She is a bruiser and packs a strategic punch. Upon introduction, she immediately made a place for herself within the animated Justice League and Justice League Unlimited as an important part of that team. She isn't a member of the Justice League because of a couple of qualities, but because she fights with the truest of hearts, with courage and bravery. She leads the charge into battle with the nth metal Mace, but it is not all about smash hitting the head. Hawkgirl has the mind of a tactician, honed over an eternity of battles. Every operation led by her involves battlefield experience, sharp instincts, and fearless loyalty. Of the arcs involving her character, one of the most relevant has to do with her betrayal of the League during the invasion of Thanagar, and her redemption. This storyline increased the level of emotional intensity behind her character, demonstrating that she is more than just a fighter, but a person who has to deal with questions of identity, loyalty, and the consequences of her actions. In short, she is one of the best examples of heart in the fight. Hawkgirl is an intimidating presence within the Justice League, not only because of her strength and resilience, but because she never turns her back when the road darkens. How has the legacy of Hawkgirl transformed throughout DC continuity? Among all the characters in DC, Hawkgirl's legacy has one of the most interesting evolutions. She was mostly introduced as a love interest and companion to Hawkman, but soon proved herself to be quite more than a background character. Over a number of years, one could consider her a battle-hardened general who possessed an unforgettable backstory. From her early days as Shiera Sanders to rebirth as Shiera Hall, her journey from damsel to frontline fighter has undergone various changes within her character. Reincarnation, cosmic fates, and alien technology all converge into a real mess in her story, making her one of the most symbolically loaded characters in the DC roster. Her presence in the Justice League animated series catapulted her into broad mainstream popularity, giving her voice and a gripping redemption arc, something that fans are still praising to this day. Marvelous verdict. Honestly, Hawkgirl doesn't get enough credit. She's got one of the craziest backstories in DC. Part alien warrior, part ancient Egyptian reincarnation. It's messy, it's weird, and that's exactly what makes it cool. She's been through it all. Betrayals, cursed love stories, intergalactic wars, and she still shows up ready to fight. It's not even about the wings or the mace, it's just who she is. Anyway, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment letting us know your favorite version of Hawkgirl. We'll catch you in the next one.